Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, I tell you, today's Wednesday, and you know what that means? It's time for Wiccan Wednesday. I'm getting my witch on. I'm feeling witchy today. I got on my witch robes, my hat, got on my big silver pentacle. I am in the worship mode of the Wicca. Anyways, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to talk about attiring our goddess statue. So keep it here at Spirit Channel. Well, you may remember that last Wiccan Wednesday we went to Walmart and Psychic Bob went shopping and bought some fabrics. And I've got our beautiful silver lame here. I bought 4 yards of this, as you'll recall. And today I'm going to show you how to dress a goddess statue with very little effort. Now, those of you who know me, you know there are 2 things Psychic Bob cannot do. He cannot boil water, except to make tea, and he can't sew. So I thought, how am I getting in deep to try to take on decorating and adorning the goddess when I can't even sew? Well, you know, thanks to the good people of ancient Rome, and as well as ancient India and modern India, I learned the art of fine fabric folding. And today we're going to show you how to dress a goddess, especially for those of you who can't sew. So keep it here. Now, this technique is so simple that really anyone can do it. So if you've been thinking about getting a goddess statue but thought, oh, I don't know if I can handle that, it's going to be too much work trying to attire it, I'm going to show you today a simple way to do it. So basically what you want to do is go to your local fabric store and buy 4 yards. You can buy a little less actually. I think I got a little more than I needed. But hey, with fabric, it's always better to have more fabric than not enough. So I bought 4 yards. Now this was like $3 a yard, so all of this only cost $12, okay? So what you want to do is you want to think about very simple. Keep it simple, all right? So we're going to do kind of a Roman toga style fold for our goddess. And what you want to do is just start to wrap the fabric around her. Now traditionally you want to keep the fabric hooked up at one side. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to pull this up, as you can see. Now, we got a lot of fabric here. Depending on how wide your fabric is, you may need to, you can go higher or lower. Because this is so wide, I'm going to tie it up at the top. Now, I have seen people do this pattern where they tie it at the waist and then work up the top part. But we're going to start right at the top. And this is really easy to do because all you got to do is simply tuck it. Now, leave about, 6 to 8 inches over, and then you take the long side and wrap it back around. Okay? Now pull it tight and tuck it under the goddess's arm. And what you want to do is go around a few times, and as you do that, pull your fabric tight. Now tuck it in along the way, make it look nice. And as you can see, I've got a lot of fabric to work with here. Now check the back as you go along to make sure that the back is looking nice and neat as well. But we're just going to tuck this on around. Now I've done a wrap. Maybe we'll go one more wrap around. Because remember, we want it to be tight. Hold it tight. Tuck it up under that arm. And go around the back again. And come back around. Now, as you can see, depending on the type of fabric you have, sometimes it'll be easier to do this. Lame fabrics are great because 1, they look so sparkly and elegant, but 2, they're actually easy to work with. Then, what's our next step? Well, we want to take that wrap and take it over the shoulder. At this point, move your goddess's arm down, and we'll just wrap it up over the shoulder, just like this. Now you see how simple that is? Now tuck in the rough edges. If you're like me, you don't really sew, so it's a little rough. All the while you're doing this, keep an eye on the drape of the fabric because you want it to look very sleek and elegant. take it over the shoulder. Now at this point you have two options. You can pin it in the back, okay? But I'm not going to do that because I want to have a little more play with the fabric. So I'm going to bring it around again and bring it back up across. Now, as you see here, it's starting to bunch up, so you may have to turn, fold, and tuck a little bit. Remember, you don't have to sew, you only have to fold and tuck. Now, we brought this back up around, and at this point, what I'm going to do is take this loose end and simply tuck it down in. Now adjust as you go along, because you want to tighten it. So you can tuck along the back as well. But basically you want to make an elegant draping fabric. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this a little differently this time. I'm going to bring this up. Oops. Sometimes you'll drop it. But I'm going to bring this up over the shoulder. Bring it back around this side and actually tuck it on the opposite arm. Okay, so whatever side your shoulder is draped on, you want to hook your fabric on the other arm. And what you can do is at this point you can just do a little pleat in the fabric, a few little pleats, make a nice little point, and that gives you a tight spot, and you can tuck it under her arm area right here. Now what that's going to do for you is it will hold the fabric securely. It creates an elegant look. And you've got this nice little drape that hangs down that's very elegant. Now, I need to fix this shoulder. This is a little loose, so we'll have to adjust it a little bit. But you can kind of get the idea that this is not too complex to do. It actually makes a very elegant goddess outfit. So as you can see, we've adjusted our goddess's attire, and now she has an elegant gown. Now look, if I, who is a guy who never dressed a woman and can't sew to save my life, can do this, you can do that. Now at this point we might want to add some jewelry, and I still have our beautiful pentagram star, 5-pointed star necklaces, so we can put those on as a nice addition to this. Then what we need is a veil. Now you may remember last time we had this fabric as the veil. Still a beautiful fabric, which I'm crazy about, but I thought, you know what, for the more upscale look, I think we're going to use lame. So the original piece of lame that I had, I still have that. And what you want to do is get about 2 yards extra. So you'll probably need a total of about 6 yards of fabric to do this outfit. And the secret to lame is it's very, very thin. And unless you have the ability to align it, it's hard to get it to hold on. So the secret is when you have your piece of lame, double it over. So here's its full width. We're going to just fold that in half. And once you fold that in half, it's more weighted. And you get the luxury of a weighted fabric without having to spend a lot of money to weight it or line it. So, now that we've weighted it, it's much easier to work with. And we can simply drape it over the top of our goddess's head and make sure it's even on both ends. Now this one I'm going to have to trim it because it's running a little bit, but that's okay, we can do that later. And then you want to just adjust your veil how you want it to look. Now I think what we'll do with this, now that looks very nice, doesn't it? But we could also just refine it a little bit. Maybe we'll just sweep it off the shoulder. So we can just fold it back a little bit. Maybe we'll take it off this shoulder, or we could leave it hanging there. We'll take it back on this shoulder also. So just take it back behind the shoulder, fold it back again, and then you can just adjust the top so that her face is framed nicely. Now I think that looks really nice. Oh, that looks very nice. Now, isn't that elegant, huh? There you go. What do you think? And that's how easy it is to dress beautifully your goddess statue. Now, as I said before, in case you didn't see the other video, definitely go see last week's video where I talk about this. But if you're just starting out and haven't had a chance to look at all that, you know, try to remember, keep it simple. I've spent, what, $12, $13, and I've got a complete outfit. And I think it looks very elegant. Probably just as good as a $1,000 designer outfit. And I haven't had to spend hardly any money. The key to dressing your goddess is devotion and love. If you love the goddess, ask her, pray to her, ask her, Goddess, what can I give you that would make you happy? And you'll get an inspiration. You know, I was literally walking through the store and I literally was praying and the goddess said, silver. I want silver because I am the moon goddess. And so I bought her beautiful silver. And as you work with the goddess, you'll get to know her, her likes, her tastes, etc. So, as you can see, for about roughly $15, I forgot to count in this veil, so like $13, another 2 yards, probably about, you know, actually, let's see, $15, let's see, that was $12, $3 a yard, and I had 6 yards, so that's $18. So for less than $20, I have a beautiful outfit. And, you know, you can do the goddess in whatever colors or fabrics you like. But this is a simple way. It's done in kind of a Roman toga style. In the ancient Roman days, people did wear veils. So this is very keeping with the ancient tradition of the Roman worship of Isis. And many of the ancient Isis pictures from ancient Rome, you'll see her wearing a veil. So, yes, our Isis is more European rather than Egyptian. But that's how I relate to her. Maybe you relate to the goddess differently. You could have blue or green hair and have her be a sea goddess and dress her in outfits with seashells. You know, you're not limited to just this. But this is something that I want to share today that might help you get started on your work with the goddess. Now, I have a beautiful statue, beautifully prepared. All I need to do is now, what I'm going to do is set up an altar around her. I'm not going to do it this video. Next week we'll do that. And I'll set up the rest of the altar area and show you how you can build a whole shrine for your goddess. Alright guys, so here's a close-up so you can see it a little better. Notice the veil, how it's just simply folded. You don't have to do anything fancy. And I just draped it, I folded it so you can get a closer up view. Folded it just back a little bit near her ear and draped it behind her shoulder. That's how you create that fold. And I showed you earlier how you wrap that. Just wrap it around, hook it under one arm, it's hooked under this arm, and then pull it up and drape it over the shoulder. Very simple toga style, but I think very, very elegant. Remember, use your creativity, use your imagination. If you want to see the back of it here, it's kind of hard to see. Let me use my camera here. You can see the back is a simple drape, and the veil hangs down loosely in the back. So, there you go. There is our goddess. Isn't she something? Simple and elegant. Now, her dress goes all the way down to the floor. So, you'll see it's floor-length gown. But absolutely elegant, I think. I think it's working. So, there you go. Listen, guys, I hope this has been of some help to you today. If you enjoy this video, like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends, hit subscribe, be part of our channel. And if you want to get on my schedule for a private reading, give me a call, 703-825-3929, or write to me at my email, readings@robert-hickman.com, or visit me at my official website, www.psychicbob.com. Well, I tell you, I'm getting my witch groove on, I'm worshiping the goddess, and it's a good day. Anyways, guys, tell me in the box below, have you ever done this style of outfit? You think you could do it? I think you could. Anyways, tell me what you think. I love to hear your comments. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow for Vlog Thursday. Make sure to be here. Till then, may you all always blessed be. Love you guys.